Hi, welcome everybody. Welcome. It's Friday, it's day 5, and you have had the comments and things I've seen from you guys. What a week we have had. Hasn't it just been amazing? Like the inspiration that you've had from people, our speakers, they've all been undeniably fabulous. We have had light bulbs going off all over the place, people getting up, getting going, taking action, realizing what it is they need to do. We've had people signing up, signing on, and getting on with it, which is fantastic, which is exactly what we want. So welcome back to our final session of this week. Never mind, we will do it again, but we have saved the best till last this week. So before I do introduce our final speaker, just some points to remember. Obviously, if you want the competition, then you need to be doing the things to enter the competition. I will post exactly what they are onto the group for you later on, but essentially it is make sure that you are doing the daily tasks, which are things like telling us what riding means to you, telling us what horses mean to you, tell us your early memory, all that gorgeous stuff that makes us all remember why we love our ponies so much and why we love what we do. And then also make sure that you are watching the lives, and that you're putting in your comments and you're showing the love and you're showing the support for everyone as well. Because, do you know, there have been so many beautiful comments that people have made that someone said, I feel that way too. And the most gorgeous thing about this, and the most gorgeous thing about Eden, the Equine Development and Empowerment Network, and having a great community around you, is that sometimes someone just puts their hand up and goes, I feel a bit like this. And everyone else goes, oh, me too. I thought I was alone. And suddenly we've got this amazing group support, which is something that sadly is sometimes missing in our community, in the equine world. But actually, do you know what? It's out there in spades, and we are all gathering together with it by you lot coming to us. So thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for being part of the community. But yes, so you need to be putting your comments, and then there needs to be a special word in each comment as well, because we're going to check through those comments, make sure that word is in there. So you're not just writing the word, you're writing a comment with the word in it, because that word is a special word that's there for a reason. We want to get you thinking about things. So I will make sure that I post what they are into the group so that you know exactly what to do and to post them in. Make sure you've done that. And that puts you in with the chance of winning the £200 worth of prizes, which is a year's free access into Eden, which is the Equine Development Empowerment Network, where you get all the online learning, access to everyone who's a part of that network, all sorts of fabulous things in there. You also get a t-shirt, a Flying Changes t-shirt, which I'm not modelling tonight. Tonight I have the Piaf, Passage and Prosecco t-shirt on tonight, because I felt that was, like, you know, important for a Friday evening. I'm also wearing something very special, which no doubt we will talk about later on, my ripple as well. We will explain what that is. But yes, I've totally forgotten what I'm saying. So the prizes, that's it. So years free EDENFest, a t-shirt, and then also a 90-day journal, which is one of these journals behind me here, up by all my trophies and things, which will behind me. I've got a new one, got a new trophy that arrived this week. I didn't even know I'd won that. It's a bit of a beast, actually. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's what you need to be doing to win that stuff. So we're going to go through, we're going to check on Sunday, and we will be in touch with you Sunday, Monday to let you know who the winner is. So she sat backstage, she's ready and waiting. This lady is a tour de force. It brings me absolute pleasure, and thank you so much as well that this incredible lady has said that she's going to give up her Friday evening to come and spend some time with all of us, because although she's not specifically a horsey lady, she does have an affinity with horses. There is a bit of background there, but this particular woman is just an inspiration. I mean, you've heard some unbelievable women this week, and men, sorry Jake, but honestly, I cannot tell you the impact that this lady has had upon my life, upon my business, and upon my happiness, which is what tonight is all about. Tonight is all about you owning your happiness, you owning your truth, you owning why you ride, you owning why you love your horses, you owning the fact that this, guys, is supposed to be fun. We are meant to enjoy this gorgeous thing that we invest time and energy and money into. And she is just unbelievably good at giving us all a little bit of a kick up the backside. And I need one too sometimes as well. So I get them. I get the little nudges, the little kicks up the backside. In fact, we had a little quick conversation before we came online tonight about some things that, you know, right, come on, next thing you need to do. And Sammy is just unbelievably good at knowing what you need. Now, her background, I'm sure she'll tell you herself, but her background is in branding. She is very, very good at knowing what makes you or your business unique, at pulling out the magic, and about knowing how to tell people about it. So although she's not specifically going to be talking about branding from a business perspective tonight, that's not what we're here for, she is going to be talking about you as a person. Who are you? What do you want? What's your inspiration? And what is your why? Because if you know that and you know what you're heading towards, then I can tell you, you are headed towards happiness. Now, I have spent many years listening to people talk about, you can have anything you want in life. You can have whatever you like. You can live the life of happiness. You can have freedom and time and money and all these things. You can have it all. You really can. And I know I sit there going, oh, right, yeah, okay, fine. You can say that because you've got it all. It's all right for you. It must have been easy. But I can tell you to go, the penny finally dropped on this one for me. And honestly, if it wasn't for this lady and other mentors that I've had along the way, there is absolutely no way that I would genuinely be living a life I love right now. Absolutely love. Now, that doesn't come without its challenges, don't get me wrong, but it is mega. It is awesome. And so I really wanted to bring her to you today to share her wisdom, her knowledge, and some activities as well. So without further ado, she sat backstage desperately waiting for me to say, come up. Here is the amazing, the wonderful, the one and only, the ripple maker herself, Sammy Blindell. And there's a blank screen. No! Oh, there you are. Yay! Talk about an
I feel like just singing. Celebrate good times. Come on.
Have you got that feeling too,
Welcome.
Sammy?
Oh my gosh. It's so good to see you. It's that Friday feeling. It is that Friday feeling. I'm coming to you live from the boats. We arrived in our next destination. We're on like I don't even know how long it's going to be. We thought like 2 weeks. It's now become 2 months. It might just become ongoing. But that's the great thing, isn't it? About being consciously connected to the life you love and knowing what you want and going all out for it. Nadia's in the house. Hey, Nadia.
Oh, Nadia is in
Alice.
the house. Yeah.
Hey,
she wants
Deborah. Hi,
to.
Siobhan.
She wants to say hi, and she says she wants to order her one drop as well. So this, so I'm sure we'll get onto what this is later because you've got one as well. So, Sammy, then just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're passionate about and what you really want to share with us tonight.
Oh my gosh! Well, the reason why I love the topic of conversation that we're having today is because I pushed and shoved and I strived and I drove really hard for a long, long time, as did Jenny in a career for a long time. My career was in branding and business growth. And I set up my first business in 2002 after being made redundant. I think sometimes we can make decisions, big life-changing decisions, as a result of the decision being taken out of our hands. And I've been feeling that calling to do something for myself for a long time, but hadn't been brave enough to do it, hadn't been brave enough to kind of step out there on my own. And eventually that decision was made for me. And then step forward, so that's 2002. Oh, the wind has just picked up there. Step forward from 2002 to 2013. And by that point, I'd built 5 companies. I'd supported thousands of business owners to brand, build and expand their businesses. One of my businesses was valued at 7.8 million. We were going through a process of selling that business. And I hit burnout. Everything was going swimmingly. And then the universe decided to make that decision for me too. And have you found that when you're going along on a path and things are just starting to not feel as in flow as you would like them to be, and you go on this journey and things just get a little bit hard and things start to get rough around the edges, and things that you loved doing before start to feel a little bit like treading treacle? And that's how it had become for me. And I'd found myself at that point running, I can see my head is underneath the thing there. There you go. I'd found myself running 5 businesses at the same time, had an enormous team, millions of pounds, dollars and euros coming through our design agency and our other 4 businesses. But I wasn't happy. And my term of success, I suppose my manifesto of success at that time would have been having lots of money, having the I made it moment when I got my dream home, the I made it moment when I got my dream car, and all of the monetary things. But I didn't have the things that money couldn't buy. I didn't have love. I didn't have time for love. I didn't have time to do those things that I was really super passionate about. And I really wanted to be in love. I wanted a love relationship. But where the heck was I going to find a love relationship when I was working 18 to 20 hours a day? So the universe decided to kick my butt and it put me on my butt. My business partner had already had to take leave. He'd been off for 6 months because the left-hand side of his body collapsed through stress. So, you know, there's only a certain amount of time that we can be going against the grain of the purpose for which we are here before things are going to step in. God, universe, source, spirit, whatever that means to you, it is going to step in and it is going to kick you in the pants. So the earlier we can make our decisions and commitments to getting on purpose and living that life that we love, so that we can live our life in a way that backs up the freaking words that we say, right? If you're supporting other people constantly and you're giving all of yourself to everyone else, there is going to come a point where you start to burn out and that you start to really take that back seat as a priority in your life, like everybody else comes first. So I just wanted to check in with everyone because we're gonna do a couple of activities tonight, things that set me on my path. The things I'm going to do with you today are things that my mentors did for me as I was coming through that process. And I don't want you to go through the same shizazzle that I've been through. I want you to be able to take that shortcut to a successful, joy-filled, happy life, but without cutting corners. And I think that's a really key thing. Jenny, I know you've been through something similar. You spoke about it at RippleFest. We've got RippleFest and EDENFest where kind of you had your corporate career and you went through a very similar thing. I'd love to know just from the audience here today, what's your story? What's happened with you? Alice, I can see redundancy is the best thing that can happen sometimes. Absolutely. Guys, just a few comments just in the chat here. Let us know where are you in your life cycle? Are you feeling the calling? Are you getting is stuff getting harder? Is it getting more in flow? I mean, obviously you're working with Jenny, most of you, and the ones that are, like, you're going to be super speeding towards your flow. But those of you that aren't, you know, where are you? Where are you on this journey? It'd be great to know before we go into this next step. Jenny, over to you, my friend. Is there anything you want to pump in there? I see we've got a little bit of a delay with my internet. Unfortunately, I get that when we're traveling.
Can you hear me? Because I was muted. That's really helpful. I was chatting away. Totally muted.
Oh, you're on mute.
No, I'm not. I think my microphone's not working. 2 seconds.
You're all good?
No, I'm having a problem. Oh, no. Hang on.
I don't know if you can hear me or not. Everything just seems to have stopped.
Okay, can you hear me now? No. Oh, no. No.
I don't know if it's me.
Oh, no, guys, if you can hear me, can somebody just say, yes, you can hear me? We've lost Sammy completely. Oh, you've got to love a bit of technology, haven't you? If you can hear me, can you post in the comments? Yes, we can hear you, Jenny. If not, I'm talking to myself. But Jenny, you're talking to yourself. We can't hear you. Yes, you can. Good. You can hear me. Whoo! Superb. Okay. You see, I thought I was having a problem, but it seems actually Sammy was having a problem. Okay. So that's cool. What we've been given here is a chance to have a break for a moment and just regroup. So Sammy's talking about, you know, is your life the way you want it to be? Are you finding it's really hard work, you know? And actually you might be going, do you know what, my life's okay, that's all right, but I'm finding it's coming out in my horse riding. And this is often the case because we're really super passionate about our riding and our horses. what happens is the rest of it might be absolutely swimming, but we find that whatever we need to be dealing with will come out in our horses, especially because they're such incredible beings, and they know what's going on with us. They can tell when our adrenaline's up. They can tell when our cortisol's up. They can tell what our hormones are doing. They can tell we're in a bad mood or a good mood, because these incredible animals are designed to live in a herd where they don't communicate verbally, because if they make a noise, they could alert a predator. So they are designed to live in a situation where the slightest twitch of an ear, the slightest raise of a heartbeat, the slightest bit of adrenaline alerts the other horses that something's going on. Okay, I think we've got Sammy back. So have a think just for a moment about maybe life seems fine generally, but maybe it's coming out through your riding. So maybe you've hit a blocker in your riding or in your horses, or maybe your horse is mirroring something. Maybe your horse isn't that happy, whether you believe in that element or not. Maybe everything's good until you're at a competition, or maybe fear is coming out, but you notice it because it's in your riding and you care about your riding. Now, most people that come to me because they care about their riding and they want to be better. But what actually happens, we dig a little bit deeper and we find that there's a common thread here throughout life. So I'm going to bring Sammy back in now. So just take a think about that for a moment. We really want to hear from you, and hopefully Sammy's having a chance to have a look through the comments while she's logged back in with us again. Awesome. And we can have a little look at what we've got through.
Sorry about that, guys.
It's fine. I thought you couldn't hear me because my mic had changed over, because my earphones had gone flat and I plugged something in, but it turns out you just couldn't hear me, and I'm probably sat there sounding like a crazy lady going, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" Anyway, got a little bit of techno.
You do.
Right.
I love technology, and technology loves me.
It has given people a chance to type, though, so they needed a bit of time to type. Clearly,
yeah, love the comments that are coming in. Well done. Deborah, always been a stay-at-home mum, tried business, but stuff got in the way. Hubby worked his arse off, had properties, now had nothing, lost it all. How do you know where to start when you don't quite know what you want? I've returned to uni nursing as I feel that's what's available for me to do, but would love an equestrian career, but at 51 and know nothing about how to do it. You're in the right place. You're absolutely in the right place there. Alice, I'm finally happy, and boom, both of my horses, hang on, I got taken off the screen, so I only got to read half of that. There we go. Both of my horses are on epic form, thanks to Jenny. Love it. All right, who else have we got? Siobhan, my horse always takes my stress out of me even before I get on. I know there are some things that just fill you with joy, and all you got to do is look at them. You just can see a picture and it just zaps you straight into that emotion, doesn't it? That's what I'm like with the water. Like I'm a water baby, so I see the water and that's it. It just takes that for me. Brilliant. Alice, 3 years into business after a corporate life, living a balanced, happy life now, and ready to scale the business. Love it. Brilliant. Well, the good news is that we're going to start that process as we go through today's session. So we're definitely might not be able to solve all of the problems, might not be able to answer all of the questions, but we'll certainly do our best to make a start on that. And even if we can navigate you onto that next step to be able to release what is holding you back, because there's moving forward and accelerating, but there's also doing that and carrying the freaking baggage behind with you.
Yeah, do you know, I learned that one the hard way. God, I'm 8 years into my business now, and for a good 4 or 5 of them, I was still doing the same stuff I was in a corporate life, just in a different way, you know. And it was only when the mirror got held up of this is the same pattern, you're just repeating it in a different way, because this happens, doesn't it? We think we've sorted it, but actually what we've done is we've just diverted it.
Just carried it with you.
Just diverted it, exactly. And we've been talking a lot about that this week, about the fact that actually you might think that you've decided not to face a challenge or to change something or to do it, but actually all you've done is either ignored it or diverted it. And you haven't actually dealt with the issue, which is what I call the stone in the shoe. You've dealt with the compensation, but not the stone in the shoe. So, well, so tell us more then, Sammy.
This glass of water doesn't feel very heavy, does it? It's just one thing, and you carry it and you take a drink. But you carry that around for 30 years. It's going to weigh something. And it just is, it could be just as easy as tipping it away. But sometimes someone has to give you permission to do that, or just to let you know, here's how to tip it out. That you can carry it, because you know, it might be totally obvious to someone else, but to you it is a blind spot. And that's the power really of having a coach and a mentor like Jenny to support you, because Jenny can see your blind spots. I did a video yesterday when we were sailing, boating. I don't think we sail really. It's like a 35-ton thing. We don't sail.
There's no flappy bits.
There's no flappy bits. Greg just drives the boat. He's driving Miss Sammy. I'm 61 feet at the front ahead of him, right? So I'm sitting there with my little radio. I don't know if we've got any up here, you know, my little walkie-talkies, you know, and I'm going back there because I'm his eyes. I can see what he can't see. I can predict what he can't predict. And so that's what we do as coaches and mentors, especially when we've already been the way and can show you the way. There's no point in you taking an extra 12 months or 2 years. We don't know how long we've got left. We have no idea what is predicted in our future. To a certain extent, we can predict how much fun we have in the time that we have here and how much we enjoy stuff, but we can't predict how long we're going to live, how long we're going to be here. So, you know, even the fittest people in the world, like sometimes you think, oh my God, they were the fittest person in the world. How has that happened to them? So we can't predict any of those things. But what we can predict is how much joy we fill our day with. We can predict who we spend our time with. And what's beautiful when I was sitting here and how RippleFest came about back in November was that I just kept seeing so many people feeling out of control, like somebody else had control. And I thought, you know, what a shame that is, because if we're focusing out there instead of in here, like what's my one drop? Not your drop or your drop or your drop, but what's my one drop? Because I can control how I show up every day. I can control how I live my life. I can control my brand. I can control how people remember me. I can control how kind I am. I can control how generous I am. I can control how graceful and gracious I am. And so for me, it was like, well, surely those things that are on the inside, they are the most important things that we can control, because they're the things that nobody can take away. Nobody can take those things away without our permission. And, you know, it's just such an incredible thing to realize that you actually have control. You have all of the power. Well, even though it might not feel like you do sometimes, you actually do. And if you just let go, and I know it sounds the easiest thing to do, but if you let go, I promise you, it will always find a way. Life will always find a way, right? Your body, everything around you is conspiring for you to have the best life. It's only us that get in the way with our thoughts, our beliefs, our opinions, and experiences that have happened to us, usually because of someone else. And that's what I want to really kind of scoop out today, is if we can go back to, you know, being a little bit more of an emptier vessel. If we can empty some stuff out, then it makes room for good stuff. It makes room for you to grow that business, or buy that boat, or buy that dream house,
that pony,
get a dog, or buy that pony. Buy coaching and mentoring so that you enjoy the bloody pony, right? Don't just buy the pony. Enjoy the experience of having the thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things, like we have control, and what we do with it is totally up to us. So we can have a great time on today's session, and I'm very much setting that intention that we're going to. But if at the end of this session you don't do anything with it, then it's just been a waste of my time. It's been a waste of your time. I'll have had fun, so actually it won't have been a waste of my time, but it'll be a waste of your time if you don't go and do something with it. And I know that many of you are already coached and supported by Jenny. So for those of you that aren't, like, what's going on? Why haven't you done it yet? Why are you sitting on the fence? Get off the fence. Get off your assets. It's time. You are an asset to this planet, and if you're just doing nothing with it, then how can you be really living that joy-filled life and being that legacy maker? Because people are watching you in every moment, and you don't even have to have a business to be building your brand. You know, you could be the smiliest person in the room, that's your brand. You could be the grumpiest person in the room, that's your brand. You don't have to have a business to have a brand. Each and every one of you are a walking, talking, living, sleeping, eating, breathing brand. You get to choose. So make that choice now. Make that choice in this session. Who's ready to make some decisions? I want to see some ripple makers in here. Give me a hashtag ripple maker if you are ready to make some ripples in your life and in the lives of others. I hope that I'm going to see lots of hashtag ripples in here. Ripple maker.
Yeah, they will. They will. I think while you're having a look at those as well, you know, like, let's think about, we've talked about how challenges come in our way, how our horses reflecting, how we all want to have happy partnerships. We want to have happy horses. We want to have happy, supportive people around us. We want to have yards where we go and have fun. We want to go and compete and enjoy ourselves, right? And you can't just sit there and expect it to change around you, can you? You've got to be the one making the decisions, making the changes, making the choices. You can't be the one that sits there and hopes that someone else comes to rescue you. It's not happening, guys. Sorry, no one is coming to rescue you. However, there are those of us out there that will throw you the life raft, but you've got to get in it and paddle it to the shore. Right there it is, right behind you right now.
Throwing you one of those.
You've got to swim. That's exactly. But you've got to swim.
You talked about the stone in the shoe, or the pebble in the shoe. What if you were to take the pebble out of the shoe and drop it in the water and watch the ripple of impact that you have when you actually take something that is possibly negative and limiting you in one place, but you could then move it to another place and it be like the best thing that ever happened to you. You know, there's these experiences that we carry through life, and sometimes we can feel like that's an anchor, but actually your mess becomes the message. You become that person that gets to show others what a great life looks like. And especially, you know, being around your horses, that's what you want to be doing. Now, I've just seen a comment in here from Deborah, who I'm not going to read the whole thing, but Deborah's using exactly the same language as you, Jenny. People tell me you can't make like money from horses. Well, you've got the example right in front of you, girlfriend. Example.
Yeah, I think I even wrote a chapter in a book about that one. Did I not write a chapter in a book, in a best-selling book?
A best-selling book, international best-selling book within about 8 hours. Yes, the law of brand attraction 2. So make sure you get that. In fact, the paperback has been signed off today. You could be the first to go get your copy. Physical, literally. I'm making the announcement here, but shh, don't tell anybody else because I haven't told any of the authors yet.
Yes. Just me. Woohoo!
Just you.
You've been in the right place at the right time, haven't you? To find out the good stuff. But yeah, like, you know, think about it. If you've got the people on your yard that drive you crazy, or they're always whinging, or they're always moaning, or nothing's ever right, and you think, oh, go away. What if you could be the person that it is the one that inspires them to make a change? Or you could be the person that shows them what you can do. Or you could be the person on your yard that starts to spread some positivity and support. And other people go, oh, I quite like this. I want to be involved in that. And you haven't done anything other than change yourself. Because ultimately, it doesn't matter. You can move from yard to yard. But do you know what? The one thing that's always going to stay with you is this. I hate to say it. You could go to a remote island in the middle of nowhere, and this is still with you. The same stuff, isn't it? You know? You've been there, haven't you, Sammy? You have.
Same shit. It has all different day.
Exactly. And I know, and we're going to get onto some stuff.
And I wish someone had thrown me one of those.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like we're offering it to you guys. We're offering it to you. I know you've got a beautiful story, and I don't know if you can just tell it in like 5 or 10 minutes, but you have got a beautiful story involving the horses that is to do with letting go and taking control and making a decision. Would you be able to just share that with us really briefly for these guys? Because it just touches my heart, and I just think it's gorgeous, and obviously it's really relevant to everyone listening because we love ponies. So, you know, tell us.
Oh, okay. Wasn't expecting it. See, look, she's dropping this on me. One drop. All right. So, gosh, going back about when would that have been? 2018, I think it was. And I was flown out to Ecuador as part of a documentary called Awakening Giants. And basically they took 100 global change makers, divided us across 5 locations. There were 20 change makers in each location. They put us under an insane amount of pressure to see what does a real leader do under pressure. And so we had cameras in our faces. We had confession cams in our rooms. We had, I mean, it was being under the microscope constantly, right? I mean, I had many breakdowns, and which led to breakthroughs. Obviously, they usually do, but the breakdowns with snot bubbles and, like, you know, the horrendous, like, really ugly crying face. And as soon as they spotted that, the camera is straight in your face, like, what's going on for Sammy, right? And there was this one day where we were taken up in the mountains. Well, it's not really mountains, it's a big volcano, isn't it, really, Ecuador? But we were taken up to the University of Ecuador, and they've got this beautiful stables and paddock, and I love horses. I actually grew up with horses. It's not something that I made as a career, but my dad's sister, my auntie Lynn, she used to breed stallions. So right from like a dot, I was straight out, and I was always on a horse when I was younger. So up to about the age of 9, when unfortunately she was taken at the age of 36 by cancer. So she died very young. And up until that point, I'd always spent my time around horses. When she died, that stopped. So we get to Ecuador and we're taken to this paddock and told that we're going to be riding horses. So I'm like, yay, I'm going to get back on a horse. This is amazing. Bearing in mind, the last time I'd been on a horse was when I was about 9. Now, by that point, I would have been about 42. So there's a bit of a gap, but I'm really looking forward to it. This was one of the things that they'd thrown at us that I didn't think I was going to have a problem with. But they didn't tell us that they were going to put us on the horse without a saddle and blindfolded. So that was quite a challenge, because I immediately freaked out. Like, the control freak in me was just like, what the hell? What? I can't possibly get on that. What if I fall off? Oh my gosh, you know, all the shizazzle, I'll be polite here, shizazzle that we say to ourselves, the little lies that we tell ourselves, it all started to show up in that moment. It started to show up, and it started to show up big time. And Robin Burson, I don't know, I introduced Robin to Jenny. I'm not sure if Robin's been a part of this week, but Robin was literally, I was sat on this horse and I had Robin on one side pinning me to the horse, like literally like this. And I had my other friend on the other side pinning me from the other side. And we went around the paddock maybe 2 or 3 times, and you can see, you can literally see on the film footage, you can see I am terrified. I am absolutely terrified. Got this blindfold on, and I'm just like, for dear life, just praying I'm going to stay on this massive horse. And anyway, we went round, and we maybe did twice around the paddock. And it got to the point where my legs were burning so much trying to hold on to this horse that I just had to let go. I had no choice but to let go. So my legs just let go, and all of a sudden, I was just in flow with this horse. And I realized that all along I could have just been totally in flow if I hadn't have gone into fight, flight, and freeze. And frozen was what my body did. And so therefore every part of me was stiff. And so of course I'm going to wobble. But the minute I let go and I just let my legs go, I was just in tune with that. I've got goosebumps all over me now. And I was just in tune with that horse. And our spirits just became completely aligned in that moment. And I only had one more lap to go in complete spiritual connection with this beautiful horse. And when I got to the end, it just had taught me a massive lesson, which maybe you are getting this lesson as I'm sharing the story with you, that you've got to let go to grow. You've got to let go. If you want to enjoy the experience, you've got to let go. And like, how many times in life, or if you do have a business, I've built 10 companies now. I've got 3 global movements that I'm running from the boat as we're traveling around. Like, when I get too serious about this stuff, everything stops. Everything stops. When I go into flow and I remember that I am a spiritual being having a human experience. And if what I'm here to do is to empower leaders and liberate leaders like you to live a life by design that you love and make money doing what you love and make an impact doing it, then I've got to let some shit go, right? I can't be a control freak, especially when you start to build a movement. A movement is built around people. You can't hog it all to yourself. You can't hold things back. You can't keep all your ideas. To be able to build something that's greater than you, you have to build a team. You can't build your dream without a team. And that team could be a team of ambassadors. I don't have any staff, but I've got maybe 35 people all around the world who are all working on my business, because I'm able to do that and bring people in as and when I need them. but I can't do it if I don't let go. And at some point, you just got to let go. And that horse taught me so much about being able to let go, that I'm so pleased you asked me to share that story, because it's not even something that would have entered my mind. So thank you for reminding me of that. I've got goosebumps at one point. Remembering that moment.
Because it's such a key message from this week that I always, of course, I remember that story that you tell, because to me it just sings to my heart, because I've had moments like that myself as well, where you have to let go to be in flow, and you have to let go to grow. So I knew that story is just gorgeous, and it's just such a beautiful message for the end of this week, where we've been saying to people, you've got to get honest, you've got to own it, you've got to make decisions, you've got to do stuff, you've got to take action. And now we're also saying, and you've just got to surrender, like let go, say, okay, fine, I can't control everything. There is some things I can control my decisions. I can control what I do with them. I can control where I spend my money. I can control what I put my effort and time into. I can control that. I can't control my horse. Sorry, guys, you can't control your horse. And I can't control what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
But I can, be in flow.
Oh, I mean, it's such a good. I am taught so many lessons by nature, and if you can let go enough of all the daily stuff to just enjoy nature for at least some time every day, that's why I love being on a boat. We'd never stepped foot on a boat. We'd never even been on a narrow boat when we decided we were going to buy this. We literally, everything was in flow. Our house in Manchester had sold. And Greg and I had flown over to France to go and do a charity walk for a friend to raise some money for the Macmillan nurses who had treated her until she passed over. And so we're doing this charity walk, and we're walking along a canal in France and saying, what the hell are we going to do? The house is sold. Like, we don't like any of the other things we've seen. And actually, I just want to be free. What, is there nothing we can do where we don't have to live in a house? And Greg said, well, what about a camper van, or just, like getting one of those Winnebago things and a mobile home thing and just being on the road and touring? And I was like, I love the idea of the freedom of that. But yeah, I can't do roads or traffic or road rage and those things. Like, I like the idea of the freedom, but I don't like the idea of the mode of doing it. And he said, well, and he just pointed at the canal, what about a boat? And I was like, oh my God, that's a damn good idea. And that afternoon, I went online. I saw this boat, didn't even look at any other boats. I said to Greg, phone this place, find out that there's something about this place. Find out about this boat. Is it still for sale? And it was. And it just happened to be 20 minutes away from the airport that we were flying back into, which we never ever flew from that airport. Never ever did we ever fly from that airport. We just happened to be flying back into that airport 20 minutes away. We saw the boat, literally stepped foot on it, went, we'll have it. We had no idea what we were buying. We were really lucky with this, really. I think the universe had a plan for us. But it's just been the best inflow decision that we've ever made. And sometimes you just know in your gut that a decision is right, like investing in your future. You know that it's right. Jenny is right for you to take you to that next step. So invest in the things that you know are right, whether you can afford it or not. And you probably can't afford it. It's like if you have kids, you're never ready for them. When you're going to grow a business, you're never ready to grow it. Right? You just got to get in the action and the motion of taking that action so you can get the traction. And that's what I do now. I'm totally in flow. And since I started letting go and following my intuition more than my head, that's when I'm actually getting the downloads. And yesterday, as we were driving, sailing, boating here, Greg's driving and I'm up the front. The front's my little place. That's my little zone of creativity. So I'm up there, got my little garden at the front of the boat, and I'm his eyes and his ears. And we're getting a bit close to the right, getting a bit close to the side of the canal. So I'm like, Greg, we're getting a bit close. Okay, you've got about 5 feet, got about 4 feet, put the bow thruster on. 3 feet. Okay, we're heading towards the bushes. 2 feet. Greg, you really need to reverse. Right? And of course, we've got 35 tons of steel, right? You don't have brakes on a boat. Like, once that boat has made its decision where it's going, it's going to take about 10 seconds to course correct, right? And so we're heading for this thing slowly, thank goodness. We're only doing about 1 mile an hour. But there I am at the very front of the boat. So I'm the one that gets all the confrontation of trees and anything else that's coming towards us. And we're heading towards all these reeds and, these bushes that are in the water. And I'm like, okay, be ready for impact, brace for impact. we hit these reeds, right? And so he's just like this, trying to get the boat out of this. The bow thrusters are going. And, you know, and there's a part of me that's thinking, oh, we were doing so well. At this point, we were doing so well. You know, we're starting to really master. You can never get it 100% right, maybe. But, you know, we started to master it. But as we hit these reeds, there's the part of me that's going, oh, shit, what a shame. And just as I thought that, about 15, maybe 20 dragonflies burst out of this bushes that I'd hit, and they did this most amazing dance. They're probably terrified, going, someone should get at home. And I'm just watching them like, wow. You know, and Greg's like radioing me, you know, how far are we? And I'm just like ignoring him because I'm enjoying this dance that's going on in front of me. And I just thought, you know, it's at the times when you crash, it's the times when it's not going to plan or as you wanted it, that the most amazing magic is waiting there for you if you will take time to enjoy the lesson instead of berating yourself. And I thought, wow, isn't that interesting? I mean, we've just got so many lessons around us all the time, haven't we? It's just, I love nature and the lessons that it teaches me, or the things that I get from it anyway.
Yeah. And it's so true, isn't it? And I know there's a lot of people actually in this group at the moment that are maybe realizing that their horse isn't the right match or the right partnership for them, or they're looking for a new one, or they can't quite find the right partner. And this is the same in love, in horses, it's the same thing. The only difference is you can't speed date horses. That would be amazing. Well, that's called going to a dealer, which doesn't necessarily always work out the best way. But, you know, so... And they're kind of like, oh, they're trying to find the right horse, but actually everyone I know that's found the perfect partnership has just gone, I don't really know. I know what I want to feel when I'm with that horse. I know what I want to do. I know the partnership that I want. I know the type of person that I'm looking for. We do say they have personalities, horses, but I'm not going to go looking for a checklist. And the people that have done that, I've always found, have ended up in the most gorgeous partnerships. I mean, my boy, I didn't want a grey. So what have I got? Everyone knows. I didn't want a grey. I've got a very big grey. Yeah, he's gorgeous. And I'm probably going to end up with another grey next year when I start looking for my next one to take me to the next level as well. Because it's just going to be a grey, isn't it? The more I say I don't want a grey, the more I'm going to end up with another horse that rolls in poo. But, you know, and so... Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. Yep, that's the one. And so I think as well, you know, you're right. Our horses give us so many lessons. And sometimes we're with a horse and we're going, oh, it's not working. It's not going. It's not doing what I want it to. But just stop and think, what are they teaching me? What am I learning right now? And then we don't get fearful of it going wrong, do we? You weren't scared of hitting the bush. It was a bit like, it's not ideal, obviously, but you're not getting scared or angry or worried. You're just a bit like, oh, we're heading for a bush. This isn't great, but there'll be a lesson here somewhere. So, you know, as long as we're not going to actually kill ourselves, it's all good.
No, it's all good. I mean, like, we've got 4 dogs and 2 cats on this boat as well. And, you know, I just know the impact it has on them. Like, as soon as the bow thrusters go, they just scatter. It's like they're all over you. You can't do anything else. But as soon as the bow thruster goes, like, it's complete silence. So it's probably the most silence you're ever going to get from a cat or a dog. Just ever.
Fire it every now and again.
Yeah, just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just a bit peace and quiet.
I wouldn't do that, really. But, you know, I think that there are so many lessons, aren't there? And maybe the biggest lesson of all is the lesson of us being able to take control, but then let go. It's like, take control enough to see the vision of something, but then let go. It's like a vision board, isn't it? You create a vision board and then you let go, and you maybe look at it every day and it's in your unconscious and your subconscious mind, but you don't have to be striving and driving to get it. And you find that it all just manifests itself. Years and years ago, back in, must have been about 2009, I did my very first vision board after watching The Secret. And it wasn't until we moved house, and this is the same story that you see on The Secret all the time, it wasn't until we moved house that vision board that I made, it had a picture of a dog on a canal boat living its best life. It's like like it's wet and it's just been having a whale of a time. And I was like, I want that life. And I cut a picture of that out and I stuck it on that board, and I didn't even realize that was on there. So guys, you know, once you make that intention and you see the vision for what it is that you want, then everything else conspires. You just got to get out of the way. You got to take the action to do it. And if you get a mentor and a coach or some kind of support, then of course they're going to be able to step in and say, hey, you know, do you want to take 5 years to do this, or how about we do this in 6 months, right? how fast do you want to be living the life that you really want to live? It's up to you. You can take the long route, and that's perfectly fine. Or if you are somebody that wants to take that shortcut, then you want to learn from somebody who's already mastered that and navigated all of the stuff, so that you can go straight to the heart of what you're doing. But I'd really like, if we can, Jenny, I know we're going over a little tiny bit, but I'd like in the group to just do, it'll take maybe 5 minutes to do this activity that I want to do. And then when we go backstage, we'll do the next step of the activity. So there's 2 parts of this really. And the first part is really setting the vision. And the second part is the stuff we've got to let go of. So have we got time to be able to do that?
Yeah.
Does everyone want to play? Who wants to play? I want to play.
Put your hand up if you want to play. Say
play.
yes. Yes, Friday night. Party time. And even if you're listening on catch up, get that Friday vibe anyway.
Friday vibes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you haven't upgraded, make sure you upgrade, because it's going to charity. So what have you got to lose other than paying it forward as you drop into yourself? All right, so let me just share my screen. All right. I can see that we've got a bunch of action takers here, Jenny. Loving it.
We have.
Love it. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Not yet. Let's do this. There we go.
All right, you're good.
Awesome.
Can you see that?
Can someone just type in yes? If you can see the screen, you should be able to. I can, so it should be good. But again, just type in yes, or say you can see the screen, or wow, that looks amazing. Tell us more, Sammy.
Yeah.
In the chat, just so we know.
All right, fabulous.
Super.
So, I've tailored this to being today and a year from now, right? So it's the 11th of June today. So on the 11th of June 2022, 12 months from now, what are you going to have experienced? What are you going to do? And this isn't about this piece here is not about letting go of stuff, right? This is your sandbox. If you can't have fun here, you like, where can you have fun? I want you to think about what ifs. Like, what if I got that horse or that pony of my dreams? What if I turned it into a business? For those of you that want to work with horses and make money doing what you love, also working in the same industry that is your hobby. Like, what if you could get up and do that every day? What if you had the perfect relationship and you could travel, that you could have that dream home? Like, whatever that is for you, what is it that you want? So I've already kickstarted you. With the beginning here, and I've given Jenny the worksheets, because there's 2 worksheets for today. There's this one and then the one that we're going to give you when we go backstage. But I want you to start off with, I am so happy and grateful that this last 12 months have been awe-inspiring. I truly stepped into my power, and I finally let go of all the people, the places, and the things that can no longer get me where I'm going. I became unapologetically and authentically me, which over the last 12 months helped me to achieve what? So now it's over to you, my friends. I want you to type it into the comments, or I would really love it if you could type it into the comments, but if you're on your phone and make some notes or something, but just own the impact that you are here to make, not only on yourself, but on your family, the legacy that you're here. Like, what do you want to have achieved over the next 12 months? So I'm going to be quiet for, I reckon, let's just take a couple of minutes to do this.
Awesome.
And let's get totally clear on your vision for the future.
So can we just read that out again for those that are listening back, because not everyone's always watching back?
Yeah.
So
yeah, cool.
Do you want me to read it, or you go?
You read it.
Okay. So my 12-month commitment to being authentically me. It's the 11th of June, 2022. I am so happy and grateful that this last 12 months have been awe-inspiring. I truly stepped into my power, and I finally let go of all the people, places, and things that can no longer help me to get to where I'm going. I became unapologetically and authentically me, which over the last 12 months helped me to achieve ... Fill in the blanks, guys. Please do put it in the comments, even if it's just a couple of words, because you're not going to type the whole thing in, or type the whole thing in. We really don't mind, but give us some stuff. What? Where are you going to be in a year?
Yum.
Go there now. Do it. Dream. Open up to the possibility.
And there is no such thing as money limitations or time limitations. This is your little dream board where everything is possible. Everything is abundant. It's all ready just to give you everything you want.
Yeah. And you know, this absolutely beautifully follows on. And Sammy hasn't seen the other speakers this week, but she just knows, because she just knows the process that we all go through. It's the same no matter what we're doing. Amy last night, when she was talking about owning your goals, what did Amy say? When I limit myself, that is the only limit. So if I can take the limits off and believe, it will happen. If you believe, you achieve. That's what she was saying. And she showed us our vision board as well. She showed us her 1-year vision board, or her 5-year vision board that she has on the wall. And then she has her 1-year vision printed in the front of her diary. So every day she sees it. And this is exactly the type of thing that Amy did. She sat down and she said, what am I going to do? What do I want? Like, let's not worry about what's getting in my way. Let's set the filter. Let's set the intention. Let's set 1 year from now. We all know so much can happen in a day, let alone a year. 365 of them, guys. What do you want? What is life going to be about? Just put it down. Badminton, maybe not in a year, but just put it down. Who cares? Do you know what? If you're a year nearer, then great. Show jumping, dressage, hacking somewhere, doing a holiday, finding that dream horse, moving to your dream yard, having your dream yard, owning your dream yard, running your dream yard, you know, having a whole load of horses, riding for Team GB. I didn't realize this, but on my vision board, which is up there, I had a lot of stuff around Team GB. And I thought that was because I wanted to work with Team GB riders in my business, Team GB riders. What has happened in the last year is I am on the Great British squads, development squads for working equitation, with the actual potential that I might ride for Team GB in a discipline. This blows my mind. Like, that's not why I put Team GB on the board. Like, what? I never saw that coming. I'd never even done the sport. I'd never even heard of the sport a year ago. And here I am now, potentially on a squads who are saying to me, potentially in a couple of years, you could be on our squad representing your country. I mean, this is the craziness of this stuff. Like, really it is. And I'm literally like, oh, wow, okay. Yeah. I don't know how that's going to happen, but I have to just trust. So we've got some great stuff coming in, Sammy. Indeed.
Trust and allow, don't ask how, is what my friend Burge would say. Ooh, trust and allow, don't ask how.
Wow.
All right, so I'm going to stop sharing so that I can see some of these comments as well, because I can't see anything other than that screen at the time. All right, happiness, contentment, and partnership with my horses and family. I decided and made our business a reality. I now help others and realize they become horse. Yeah, love it. Built your own home at the business location. In a year's time, you'll be excited to have booked camp and feeling confident. Excellent. Letting go of work stress by not taking it that serious anymore. Love it, Gabby. This live is making me emotional. I love it. You know, if it does, then it means you care enough about it that you want to do something, right? Shift happens. But it happens when we have this conversation. You know, it's a safe space, this place here. It's a safe space to have a conversation about what you're going to let go so that you can grow. And what I like about this activity, and somebody did this activity with me many years ago, was that it did get me completely focused on what I wanted, because I'd kind of taken the persona on of business owner, but really what I was inside was an entrepreneur. Now, a business owner, in my mind, this is my definition of a business owner. A business owner is somebody that's asking questions that are I related, like how can I make more money? How can I build my business? How can I spend more time doing this? How can I sort my marketing out? How can I build my team? So it's all how can I focused. An entrepreneur, in my experience, is somebody who's very you focused. So how can you change your life as a result of something that I know? How can you go and change the lives of others as a result of me teaching you that, so that you feel empowered to go and do so? How can you do the, you fill in the gaps, right? So it's very much a how can you. And I wanted to be more how can you than how can I, because how can I wasn't getting me very far. How can I was just getting me like awake at night. How can you meant that I was actually building my life in a way that, how can you be so inspired by the conversation that we have tonight that you go and do something with your life that you might not have done before? And, it's just like, if you can step into that, how can you? Now, if you do own a business, then at some point you've got to put the how can I hat on. You can't stay in how can you all the time. You've got to put some how can I on, right? Or it's like, how can I build a team that does this so I can focus on being how can you? But, it comes a time when you get to make that decision. There comes a time when somebody decides they're going to start building right next to you when you're live. I don't know if
we can still hear you. It's fine.
Okay. Literally right next to me is still out and just decided he's going to do that. It's nearly 8 o'clock at night. Okay. So in a year, you're going to be enjoying your horses wherever that leads you, only saying yes to things that you really want to do. Love that, Nadia. Giving back to those on their rider confidence journeys and those experienced mental ill health. Love it. Now, here's what I want you to do, guys, and girls, as the next step of this, right? So we're going to go and do some stuff backstage, but for all of you to take this to the next level before we go do, well, we're going to go do that stuff backstage. I just suggest that you come back to this activity at some point. Get your mobile or your smartphone and go and get either the dictation app that's on your phone, or I use Otter, which is OTTER, otter.ai or something like that, isn't it? If you go and type Otter dictation tool, type that into Google and you'll find it. It's free. And you can download it on your phone and you can have it on your laptop as well. And what it will do is, as you are talking, it will transcribe everything that you say into words. So the best thing you could possibly do is, instead of in a year I will be enjoying my horses, the best thing you can do is get your phone or your smart device and say, it's a year from now, I am enjoying my horses. So claim the vision. Don't talk about it as if it's going to be. Talk about it as if it already is. So I am enjoying my horses. I am loving this beautiful countryside. Look at these incredible views as I'm on the back of this beautiful spiritual animal. We are so connected. We're loving life. People are noticing the difference in me because I've really grown spiritually, emotionally, and financially. Everything has shifted in the last 12 months. So I want you to record that and do it either on Otter so that you can then see the words, because I think there's one thing to speak the words and be brave enough to let them come out of your mouth, right? Then the next step is actually seeing it in words, so you can take that and then copy it into your journal, or you can create a digital journal, or you could make that a manifesto for your life and print it out and get it in front of you. But just remember that that's on its way. If you choose to get out of the way, and if you choose to follow the path of a mentor and a coach that can guide you, if you're not quite sure how to do that, don't try and do it alone. It will cost you time. It will cost you life that we can't ever get that time back. Once it's gone, it's gone. And, I know that for sure, I don't want to get to the end of my life and have any regrets about the things that I didn't do. I'd rather be regretting the things I did. just say yes and figure out how. So yeah, claim your future like it's already happening. I think that's amazing. And yes, we love Otter. Definitely. I mean, Otter is just so great. I think you can get up to 600 minutes of transcription every single month without paying for it. So I just love that as a tool. And I'm often brainstorming when I wake up in the morning. If I know I've got a blog to write, I'll speak that into existence. I don't sit there and try and write it. I speak it. And what's nice about Otter is you can press pause. So you can think, you can have time to think and articulately then say what that next thing is on your mind. So you end up with this beautiful, perfect kind of script, almost a scripture of what your life is going to be in 12 months from now. Guys, call it into existence. You already own it. It's already there. You're asking, it is given.
Absolutely.
Just manifest it by speaking it into existence.
Yeah. Get out of your way, I think is absolutely the key point here. And thank you, Sammy, because
you know you're there. We're throwing you the life ring.
There it is, literally. Well, thank you so much. That was amazing and inspirational as always. And I can't wait to get more. So for those of you that are VIP, you can come backstage with us now. If you're not, you can really quickly sign up. If you want to do it, just go into the app and click on the I want to be a VIP option that's in the messenger. Sorry.
Who would want to be a VIP? I think it's like all the money goes to charity, doesn't it?
Yeah. £8 to Riders Mind. I think I need the official figures, but I'm pretty sure we've made about £200 this week to the Riders Mind mental health charity, which is just incredible. Yay!
You have been the most amazing one drops this week for yourselves and for each other. I mean, you know, the reason why we wear these is because this is a symbol. It's called unity. This is a one drop unity pendant. We wear these because it's a symbol that shows that you are a ripple maker. You are somebody that cares about creating change that makes a positive difference on the planet for the whole of humanity. And so when you see somebody wearing one of these, you know that that's a safe person. They're a safe person to go to ask for support, that they will be that ripple maker for you. And Jenny, I'm really excited. I don't even know if I've told you this yet, but we've got the earrings. If you can see them.
Oh, well, not very well, but I can tell they're there. Oh.
Yeah. So they glow when the light hits them. They glow.
Beautiful.
These like are
just so gorgeous that you just, I mean, they catch the light and they're glass and they're just absolutely beautiful. Anyway, we haven't got time to talk about them, but if you want to find out about them, come backstage. We'll tell you all about them. Yes. But if anyone has any questions or anything, drop them in the chat. If you're hosting on the replay, just drop them in and we will answer what we can. But let's come backstage now. We've gone over, we always do, let's face it, it's going to happen, isn't it? And you can find out more from Sammy, ask her any questions, find out, you know, like, why do we talk about this stuff? Like, really, seriously, if you're a bit of a cynic, come backstage, honestly, because I was the biggest cynic 8 years ago in the corporate world. I was like, what is all this absolute nonsense? Like, you just write it down and it happens. Whatever. I am living that life. Honestly, I wanted this. I'm in it. Now I want the next thing. That's the only thing with stuff, isn't it? You know, it's like, what's next? What's next? How can I do more? How can I be more? How can I, you know, create more? So anyway, what's the word? We haven't given you the word.
On the other side.
Sammy, what word should we ask them to put in the comments to get in with the competition if they want to be part of the competition? We need one word that they use as part of a phrase or a comment. Ripple. Let's use ripple. Right, the word is ripple, everybody. Okay, so I will type that in quickly now. Ripple, and then I will also make sure you've got that in the group, guys. So so that you can type that. So I want you to talk about the ripple or ripple. It's somewhere in your comment. So we're going to go backstage. We're a little bit late. Backstage tonight is Sparkles and Fizz night. So if you want to join us backstage with some Sparkles and Fizz, feel free.
Came with water.
That's fine. Don't worry. I didn't pre-warn you on the Sparkles and Fizz. You're going to have, what we're going to do is we are going to take a quick 5-minute break though. So we'll go 10 past 8 tonight, just so we can have
I think I've got some bubbles somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure you've got something fizzy somewhere. No doubt about it. Although I have to say this is organic, non-alcoholic fizz for tonight, because I didn't want to be sitting there going, oh, this is fantastic. So this is non-alcoholic, but it still looks good.
I love you, I do.
Yeah, I love you, Sam. I love you so much.
Another thing.
And then we'd go on till midnight, and my poor husband would be like, Jen, what's going on? We're having a party.
Yes.
It's great. So yes, we won't be doing that. So feel free to join us backstage with some non-alcoholic, anything fizzy, anything sparkling. I've got my one drop on, which is a bit sparkle, and then I've got this sparkly t-shirt on a bit tonight as well. So join us backstage. We will drop you the Zoom code. It'll be in your email or in your messenger if you're a VIP. If you sign up really quickly, you can get it. Join us backstage. Bye, Sammy. We will see you in 5.
We've got some good stuff to do. See you there.
Bye.
Bye.